Alright, Glam Game, we're just gonna get right into this video. These are the patterns I'll be using. I self-drafted a, G-string pattern, and then I'm using the same bra pattern I used for my sweetener bra situation. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut this out, and then I'll cut it out of the fabric. If you want the bra pattern, I'll link the sweetener pattern down below. I might make a separate pattern. And then also with the G-string pattern, that video should be on my Patreon very soon. Anyway, I'm going to cut these out real quick, and then I will be showing you the fabric that I will be using. Okay, so these are the fabrics I'll be using. I'm mainly using this stretch pleather fabric, and then I bought this lining fabric that's black. It's like black polyester, but I realized, especially for the bra, that I needed to stretch, and using like 100% polyester, it don't be stretching. So I nixed it, and I decided to line the bra with the leather itself, and then the polyester I used for the G-string part. Okay, so I'm just showing you real quick how I place my pattern pieces. I folded the edge of the fabric, and I placed my bra pieces on top, and then on the single layer side I placed my G-string piece, because we only need one, but I just cut the G-string out twice, once out of the leather and then once out of the polyester. So these are all the pattern pieces that you should have. You should have I believe 4 of the inner and the outer bra cup pieces, and then 2 G-string pieces. Now we will be moving on to making the bra. So like I've done in my sweetener tour video, which I'll be linking down below, I'm placing the bra cups, the inner bra cup on top of the outer bra cup, and I'm aligning the top together and placing a clip there. And then I'm placing a clip in the middle, kind of where the curve is. The outer bra cup piece is a little bit shorter, but we'll be stretching it down to meet the inner bra cup piece as we sew. So now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and sew along the curve at a 1/2 inch. Preferably with a zigzag stitch, but my machine was messing up, so I decided to use a regular straight stitch. Okay, so now you should have 4 pieces, 2 for the outer layer and then 2 for the lining, all out of the leather. I first decided to mark what the inner bra cup piece and what the outer bra cup pieces were on the back side, the wrong side of the fabric, with some chalk so I could keep track of it, because it is very important. Then I lined up the bra cup pieces right sides together, and then making sure that the outer bra cup pieces were parallel to each other and the inner bra cup pieces were parallel to each other. Okay, so once they're clipped at the top, I'm taking my scalloped lace elastic kind of trim situation. It's stretchy, but it's lace, and I'm going to go in between the layers of each cup and placing, kind of like aligning the elastic inward, making sure that the scallops are facing inward, and aligning it a little bit under a 1/2 inch away from the raw edge. And we're doing this so that when you flip it inside out, that the lace will then stick out. You know what I mean? Because you can't really top stitch it the way that it's sewn from the original. And so I'm just doing that real quick. And then that's the first way that you can do it. And then you just clip all the layers together once you align the lace about a little bit under a 1/2 inch away from the raw edge of the sides and also of the top. Another way you can do it is do it for one cup, for one layer, and then sew the lace down to that one layer, and then sew the cups together. But once we do that, we are going to sew all the way around except for the top, like the tippy top point of the cup, because we need to put the strap in afterwards. You just sew the sides of the bra cup. I will now sew at a 1/2 inch. You can also sew at a 1/4 inch if you want a little bit more coverage, because these are like regular bikini cups, but if you want a little bit more coverage, then you can sew at a 1/4 inch instead. So as I was sewing the bra cuffs, I also sewed some straps. I made 2 shoulder straps and 1 bust band strap out of the leather fabric as well. So now what we're going to do, once the bra cuffs are sewn together, it should look a little bit like that. I'm going to take my loop turner, just because it's easier, you don't need a loop turner, but I'm just going to take my loop turner and like poke it through that open hole at the top of the bra cup. And then I'm going to hook one of the shoulder straps to the end of the loop turner and then pull it through so that the shoulder strap can meet the top of the cup. And then I'm going to clip it there and then sew it down. Boom. So now this is what the bra cups look like. So now what I'm going to do is flip the cups inside out, and then you get to see it in all of its glory, looking all cute. Oh, before I do that, actually, scratch that. I'm cutting off all the excess seam allowance because we don't need all that up in our bra. You know, it's just a little bit too much. So once we do that, then I'm going to flip it inside out and show y'all how it really look like once you flip it and show its beauty. See, it's all pretty, it's all cute, it's all lacy and leathery. So kind of keep track of what's the inner bra cup and what's the outer bra cup, because you want to make sure that the outer bra cup pieces are facing on the outside and the inner bra cup pieces are facing on the inside. And so you can tell by the width of each bra cup piece. So anyway, now what I'm doing, I flipped one of the bra cup pieces to its back side, the wrong side, and then I'm taking the raw edge at the bottom and folding it up a 1/2 inch, and I will be sewing it down to create a tunnel for the bust band of the bra. So anyway, this is what the bra cup pieces look like, and then I also pulled the bust band through the tunnels of the bra cups, but I just didn't show that part because I've done it a million times on this channel. So now I'm making on to making the G-string, kind of. And so I have the 2 G-string pieces. I have the front, the front piece that should be leather, and then the lining piece that should be polyester. You can also self-line it with leather as well if you wanted to. That would have been fine. I just figured the polyester would be a little bit more comfortable on, you know, the area, you know what I mean? So anyway, typical, place one piece on top of the other, right sides together, and then I'm going to sew on each edge, and at the bottom I'm going to leave the top open so that we can flip it inside out. And I'm sewing at a 1/4 inch. And again, I'm going to cut off the excess seam allowance and flip the G-string inside out. That's out of the frame. So now I'm just going to cut off the excess. Oh, shit. Wow. My hand really did move. Okay. Cut off the excess fabric. I have to go back to the sewing machine to sew that back down. But actually me cutting that part worked in my favor, because that's how we're going to attach the actual G-string part to the thong G-string area. You know what I mean? That's how we're going to put the little thong part at the bottom. So anyway, I'm flipping it inside out first so that we can continue with the next step. So now I am taking my 1/4 inch elastic in black, and I'm going to measure out 16 inches, but 14 inches would have been a little bit better, and I'm going to cut it out of the elastic. So then I'm just going to take the bottom of the G-string and just put the little elastic in that little hole I just made, and then clip it in place, and then I'm just going to sew right across it to tack it down. And see how that worked? It worked in our favor. See there? I subconsciously did the right thing. So then, now that's sewed down. So next, what I'm going to do is go to the top and then take my elastic again and measure out my waist measurement and cutting it out of the 1/4 inch elastic. So then now I'm finding the middle point of the elastic and the middle point of the G-string part, and then I'm going to align those midpoints together and then place a clip there. So now that's clipped in place, I am going to fold the G-string edge back, you know, like the top edge back, to encase the elastic, to make pretty much a tunnel for it. But it's a different type of tunnel because I also want to sew the elastic down to the G-string instead of just making a tunnel for it to go through, just to avoid any wrinkling or anything like that, because that can happen with elastic, like going through a tunnel of anything. It kind of bunches stuff together. So in order to ensure that it stays flat, I'm going to sew the elastic down in that tunnel. And so I'm breaking out more of the scalloped lace as well, just to show you that if you wanted to also sew down the lace all in one go, if you're a proficient sewer like that, then definitely do that, because I feel like that's the best way to get everything done and make it look professional. And I'm just showing you how to do that. However, I'm not like that. If you want to sew the tunnel first and then the lace on afterwards and try to sew in the exact same spot for both tries, you can do that. But for me, I decided to hand sew it down later, which I will show you. But right now I'm just going to sew that tunnel closed and take care of the rest of the G-string before we jump the gun. So now that that's sewed down and it's looking mad cute, I'm going to take the ends of the elastic and kind of slightly overlap. Oh, first I'm showing you the job I did. It looked real good. But anyway, now back to business. So now I'm flipping the G-string so that the wrong side is facing us, and I'm taking the two ends of the elastic and I'm just going to slightly overlap them together just like that, and then just do a little stitch to stitch it together to close it so it can be our waistband, and it should look like that. So then next I'm going to take the actual thong part, the little G-string part at the bottom, and I'm going to take the waistband and I'm going to kind of fold the G-string band over a little bit, kind of like, and like, yeah, kind of like that, so that it kind of goes around the the waistband and makes like a little, I don't know, circle, if you know what I mean. Anyway, you can kind of see it here. You see, boom. So then I'm just going to do a little hand stitch just to stitch that in place. If you want to do it on the machine, then you can, but I figured it was just a little tack that it wasn't necessary to go to the machine for. So now you actually have a G-string. You're welcome. So then next, I'm going to sew the lace on. So I'm taking my scalloped lace, what's left of it, and I'm just like aligning it to the, edge of the, G-string, and just making sure the amount of scallop that I want to show shows. And then I'm going to flip it to the back and just hand sew it real quick. A little tidbit is in the original, it actually has scalloped lace on both sides of the like long ends, where your legs go, if you know what I mean. It covers all three sides of the triangle. And so, but I just didn't have enough lace to do all that, and I wanted more lace on the bra anyway, so I kind of skipped on that part. But if you want to do that, then do that. So now it's time to move on to the patches, which is the most important part. So these are the Playboy bunny patches that I got from Etsy. I'll link it down below if I can find it, or like I'll message the seller because it's not really available anymore, but I'll link it down below of like the shop I got it from. We have to iron those puppies on because they're iron on patches. How come ever? This is leather. So it's not the best thing to do to iron leather because it usually doesn't react that well. But anyway, I'm just going to try my best. I'm taking my G-string and I'm positioning the patch wherever I want it to go, which is towards the top so it can be seen. Then I'm taking a pillowcase and placing it over the whole G-string and patch just to make sure that I don't burn any places, because it literally looks horrible when you burn places. So my iron is on the highest setting and I'm just going to place my iron on top of the patch, and I left it for 30 seconds, but a minute is definitely better. However, I was real scared to burn my leather, so I just decided to do 30 seconds and just patch it up the way I need to with glue if necessary, which I had to do for the bra. So now I'm moving on to the bra and I'm doing literally the same thing. However, the only regret I have for the bra is that I put it towards the side which that's a part of the original design, and also that was the path of least resistance because there was a lot of wrinkles with the bra. I just wish I kind of put it in the middle because it would have looked better. But anyway, I'm just kind of placing the patch right on the bra and just letting the curve do its thing for the bra and kind of like let it curve up. And then I'm placing the iron on top, but I personally would go back and just use glue instead, just because I think it just would have worked better, and just glue it section by section until the complete thing was covered. So anyway, that's what it looks like when it's ironed on, but I did break out the rubber cement, which actually worked really well with this patch situation, but I used a little rubber cement and some clamps to just patch up the places that just weren't like sticking down. So after that is done, the complete project is finished.
Started out with half and I flipped it in a double. Started out with half and I flipped it in a double.
And so here is the final result. This is how the outfit came out to look like, and it looks really, really, really good. I also made a matching skirt to go with that whole like 2000s trend, and I just love it. I just love it. I feel like it's so me, and Playboy has been super popular lately, and I love this set for a while because I was inspired by Milk Shakespeare, and I love her on Instagram. I freaking love like her looks and stuff like that. So when I saw this on her, I wanted it, but it cost like $98 because it's vintage. So I decided to make my own. Okay, so that is it for this video, and also for 14 days of a TEEZY Valentine. I wish it was 14 days fully, but you know, we recuperating from 2020, so it was a little janky this year, but I will be releasing the videos that were planned over time in the next like month or so, depending on my schedule, and they also might have the self-love prompts as well in them. I'll see, because I did record one video that I couldn't like edit in time, and I wanted to get this video out over that video, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe and turn on your post notifications so you guys can see the other 14 days of a TEEZY Valentine videos, because some stuff took forever to come. I had some customer service issues. It was just a lot going on, but them videos is coming. But I hope you guys enjoyed this series this year. Comment down below and tell me, and let me know like which video was your favorite out of the series this year, or what you would like to see in next year's series. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So for the self-love prompt for this video, it's a pretty basic one, but I just want you guys to like kind of reflect, if you've been following 14 days of a TEEZY Valentine and all of the prompts that we've done, which prompt did you enjoy doing the most out of all of them? And then once you figure that out, then you try to at least continue to do it every week or every couple of weeks, you know, to keep up the self-love, you know, goodness. And that is it for this video. That is it for this series. And as always, y'all, please love yourself, and I will see you next video. Mwah!